It was nice that we finally got lows back in the lower 70s this morning, but once we hit the afternoon, it was just the same weather story yet again for another afternoon. After yesterday's lows in the lower to middle 70s, mid 90s for highs the other day, we dropped back again, lower 70s this morning, and then everybody pushed back at least to 95 degrees. If you remember from earlier with the almanac, Joplin Regional topping out at 96 degrees. Thankfully, all of that heat and humidity, it wasn't high enough for heat advisors, with the exception earlier this evening for Anderson and Coffee counties. Thankfully for tomorrow, the humidity stays in check, so we're not going to have any heat advisories to worry about. But the heat and humidity with an incoming storm system has actually spawned some isolated thunderstorms, mainly in our southern counties, mainly along and south of US 400 and south of 160 on the Missouri side. But you can see these storms not holding on long as we got past sunset, and the few little guys that are still trying to hold on around the Joplin area per se, they're going to continue to fade away as we go deeper into the evening. Here's how we look before sunset this evening. Certainly most of us looked nice to start this evening out, in addition to the 7th and range line as well. But let me show you the setup overall, including the upper levels, because it's quite fascinating really what's trying to come on through. It's actually a frontal system that's been trying to work in from the east. Normally we see systems come in from the west, but what's also interesting is this upper level high. It's still in charge. That kept us hot again today, no doubt about it, but the steering winds clockwise around the high, that's what's forced those isolated storms and showers to move from east to west. So that is why we've seen the odd movement with these storms, but overall that upper level ridge, that's still going to be the main driver in terms of our weather as we go through not just tomorrow throughout the weekend, throughout much of next week, quite frankly. As far as where we go from here, we'll be quiet for the overnight hours, and overnight lows underneath eventually mostly clear skies all around will drop back to 71 degrees. Going throughout the day tomorrow, we'll keep that breeze light, sometimes out of the south, other times out of the southeast at 5 to 10. That'll push us to 86 by noon, highs near 91. In fact, everybody should go into the lower 90s for afternoon highs to wrap up the weekend tomorrow. The heat indices, thankfully, they're not going to be terribly high. They'll stay under 100, but still it'll feel a bit hotter, feeling like the mid to upper 90s across much of the area. A little bit of a break again for Monday morning, but with highs again back in the lower 90s and that little bit of humidity, it'll feel like the mid 90s as we keep quiet for Monday. Then it gets a little bit interesting as we head toward the middle of the week. Tuesday, it stays dry as that upper level ridge shifts around once again, but it wants to be squashed far enough to the south where a weak frontal system at the surface and an additional wave upstairs could allow for some isolated thunderstorm chances Wednesday, Thursday, and even as we go into Friday. But you can see, even as we throw those rain chances into the forecast, it is not going to scrub out the heat. At least we'll be at 91 for your Father's Day and Juneteenth tomorrow. 91 Monday, mid-90s Tuesday and Wednesday, and unfortunately, Bronte, we could be seeing upper 90s for highs once again as we go into next weekend.
Oh man, you were saying, 90s isn't too bad, but I mean, that's still pretty hot. I guess for around here, but...
Yeah, it all depends on how you look at it. Believe it or not, like some people really like this kind of weather, but at least we're keeping the humidity in check so it's not going to feel like you're walking into a sauna tomorrow.
Definitely. All right, thanks, Nick.